After managing to release all hostages, including high-ranking officers, Benin Republic is searching for fugitive soldiers behind a foiled coup attempt as other West African countries mobilized to offer military support. The economic capital, Cotonou, was calm and traffic had returned to normal by Monday afternoon after a group of soldiers a day earlier announced on national television that they had ousted the President Patrice Talon. President Talon made his TV appearance later Sunday, assuring the country that the situation was completely under control. All right, let's turn to an international journalist, Adeniyi Kunnu, for some African politics and efforts towards regional stability. Thank you for being here. What does the foiled attempt in Benin tell us about the broader pattern of political instability across West Africa? Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yes.
All right, beautiful. Now, I'm trying to drive a point home that a country that attained independence on August 1st, 1960, even before Nigeria did, is a country that should have understood that its choices should essentially belong to it at the moment. Benin Republic is a microcosm of 19 other countries that the French actually colonized on the African continent out of over 50 countries, especially in this side of Africa. And it's important to state clearly here that when you see coup happen, it is because democratic leadership itself has not produced the kind of results expected by the people. The last census it had, I think that was in 2021 or thereabouts, should be about 13 million, if I'm correct. And you're talking about 13 million people, population that is less than that of Lagos. And you're talking about a country whose president, the same Talon, since 2018, has actually made it difficult for members of the opposition to be able to vie for the presidential position. And he has also ensured that members of parliament who are essentially under his leadership and guidance will only have to give about 10% approval to anybody who wants to emerge president, first being an aspirant in any presidential election. So 2018 to now, that is 7 years. What democracy is that? In France, it's 5 years. In some other countries, it's 5 years. But 2018 to 2025, that is 7 years. So when we see such coups happen, it is because over time people have actually been kept at a position where they shouldn't have been, and it has become very difficult for them to actually experience what I call the kind of jojo that happens between the leadership and the people being led. So for me, I do not think there's anything that I need to be so happy about regarding the fact that we're talking about a country whose people, particularly the army, essentially part of the Benin Republic people, revolted because of something that perhaps wasn't being done right. So for people to come out and actually condemn the coup plot, it is time to actually do a re-examination of French's incursion into these West African countries where we had the most coup in the past 4 or 5 years, and to do a re-examination of its very, very unfavorable policy of assimilation, where every country, virtually all the countries colonized by France, had such a problem. In fact, let me say this for the record. France colonized Algeria, but their exit from Algeria was very brutal, was very bloody, because the Arabs totally rejected the style of leadership that they brought to the table. And I'm hoping sincerely that many other countries of our kind of skin color, non-Arab, will be able to look at what France has not done right. Let me give you quite a number of pictures here, if you permit me. And if you've got questions, maybe I'll just pause on my thought while I wait to hear you, please.
Okay, I was going to, we have such a short time. Nigeria was said to be instrumental in foiling the coup in Benin Republic. Now, there are questions. Why same effort was not adopted in other West African countries which were taking over by the military?
Can you reiterate your question, please?
Nigeria was instrumental to the foiling of the coup attempt in Benin Republic. And the question is, why similar effort was not expended in other African countries which were taken over by the military. We have Mali, we have Niger, we have Guinea-Bissau. I think there's one other country as well.
Well, let's understand that Benin Republic is closest to us, to the east of Nigeria. And if you talk about certain ethnic affiliation, you have Yoruba people ancestrally connected to Nigeria who live there. Then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to be able to get into a place like Mali. Mali is bigger in terms of the land size. Benin Republic is smaller. So Benin Republic is about 10% of Nigeria's geographical area. So you'd find out that it's always easy to get into Benin Republic and to actually help Benin Republic deal with things that you want to go to Mali or Guinea that are at a distance from us. In terms of the military structure of Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, they are more structured than us. And do not forget also that at some point in time, the president had wanted to, more or less use the ECOWAS military or allied force to go into even Niger Republic that is bigger than us. Niger Republic is over 1 million square kilometers, but Nigeria is just about 900,000 plus. So I'm saying here that it would not have been easy. But at the same time, let us understand that perhaps the country is wary of allowing such a thing happen here. Don't forget, we've talked about a military coup that they denied earlier, that almost took place also in Nigeria. That's some months ago, but that was not allowed to happen because of certain information. And for many who perhaps didn't understand, don't forget that the October 1st broadcast was done recorded instead of the live session that it usually would have been. So let's make that clear, that perhaps these coups are not happening because the military suddenly realized that they can come back to power. The military perhaps is disaffectioned, as it were, with the kind of deals that are being doled out to people. Look at Nigeria, for instance, that helped Benin Republic. Yes, in terms of wealth, in terms of population and everything, we are far more. I said it earlier, Benin Republic, the population is not up to that of Lagos. So we are stronger, we are better equipped, then because of the proximities to prevent it. Because if you look at it, if any coup happens, there's likely going to be proliferation of arms into the country, and some persons will make home here while they may be striking Benin Republic from here. So the government perhaps is precautious or taking precautionary steps not to allow that to happen. But the lesson to be learned from all of this is that as democracy really have been favorable to the African people. Let's look at West Africa, our own region. In West Africa, you have certain leaders who should have held elections. Let's look at Ivory Coast, for instance. 2 persons that should have taken over from Alassane Ouattara died suspiciously, and also they keep getting the continual support of France. If you go to Cameroon, the person that heads Cameroon as we speak cannot even sit on his own, cannot sit down on his own. So it tells you that when leaders in that country allow certain wicked alliance with France against their own people, then it gets to a point even the military is not happy about it. From, for instance, Congo Brazzaville, Sassou Nguesso of this world, if you come to Equatorial Guinea, you just find out that in many of these countries, certain things have not gone well with how the supposed democratic leadership have continued to treat their people. And if you look at it, oftentimes the civilians are disarmed with regard to how they can fight for themselves. And the military, yes, I agree in principle that the military should not come to power. The military should only take responsibility of the external sovereignty of their respective countries. But it gets to a stage where the military themselves, without the uniforms, are civilians, and they have to fight one way or the other to liberate the people. If you go to a place like Burkina Faso,
Adeniyi, we really don't have much time. I'm really afraid we have to pause this conversation. So much information coming from you. I'm hesitant to interrupt, but we have to go. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you very much for the privilege of talking with you. Thank you.